Anthony Gerber, pastoral voting delegate, Nebraska District. I move to amend Standing Rule 14 by adding the following to the end of the original wording. When a new queue is opened, if advisory delegates or advisory representatives are immediately in the queue, and then in parentheses, at the discretion of the chair, that word immediately, the first two advisory delegates or representatives will be moved to the top of the queue. Then the order will return to the original queue with those who spoke being removed.
The motion is in order. Do we have that in writing?
Yes, sir.
Can you bring that forward? And you may speak to the motion if it is seconded. It's been motion been made and seconded. Would you just repeat that? Just repeat it for us and tell us which standing rule it affects.
Yes, it would be following Standing Rule 14 to add, when a new queue is opened, if advisory delegates or representatives are immediately, at the discretion of the chair, in the queue, the first two advisory delegates or representatives will be moved to the top of the queue. Then the order will return to the original queue with those who spoke being removed. The reason for this is over the next 4.5 days as a voting delegate, my voice will be heard 100+ times when I press on my white voting device a number and send. But I also have the opportunity to get in the queue and speak. There are 300 advisory delegates or representatives. The only way their voice is heard is through this gray queuing device. There's going to be a lot of things that they're here to speak to us. And as a voting delegate, their job is to advise. And that's the way that they can advise. So I would love to hear from them so I can do my job as a voting delegate as we vote on these issues. For practicality, mics 11 through 14 are advisory delegates and representatives, so all we'd have to do is scan and look at microphones 11 through 14 and just pick those first two out.
All right, thank you very much. I think that's clear. Please, microphone 4, Alex Hoffmeyer. I think we should go to a pro-con. Yes, it's an amendment, so we have to start a new microphone queue for the amendment. So, if you would like to speak pro for the amendment, press 1. If you would like to speak con for the amendment, please press 2. Please queue now. We'll get up to speed. It'll take a few minutes. All right. Microphone 3. Microphone 13, microphone 13, speaking pro, Christopher Marshall, please.
Good morning. Chris Marshall, Southwestern Wisconsin District Advisory Delegate. I'm speaking pro rather, as I was an advisor for last district synodical convention, and as the pastor was so nice to state as he spoke, things were rather quick, and us in the back did not have a chance to have a word spoken. So I would like to say that this is a great amendment to add. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Con, Benjamin Ball, microphone 14. Microphone 14.
Ben Ball, Senate Vice President, Advisory Speaker at this convention. Speaking against the amendment, the matter of the queue is just a matter of fairness across the board for all those who have speaking privilege. And those enter the queue, just do so by the quickness of their thumb. We shouldn't distinguish the voting privilege between one section or another. It should all stay squared away. Everybody gets the same chance at the same time. Thank you.
Yes, it is clear that the advisory delegates do have the privilege to speak and certainly do have the privilege to participate fully just as anybody else. Nevertheless, we understand the point made. So, those speaking for, Kyle Blake, microphone 9.
Kyle Blake, there you go. Pastoral Delegate, Pacific Southwest District. I speak in favor of this. I was, in 2010, I was actually a DCE advisory delegate and have since become a pastoral delegate. I was ordained, it's okay. And so to give them a chance, a lot of these things that we'll be voting on this week affect our district staff as well as our university staff. I know that some of them may or may not be quick on the draw, and I want to make sure that they are heard, especially when it comes to certain resolutions that pertain to them. So I speak in favor of this.
Thank you very much. We have Sean Willman at microphone 1, speaking con.
Sean Woolman, Pastoral Delegate, Michigan District. I speak against the proposed amendment to the standing rules. There are ample opportunities for us to be advised by those, whether on district staff or advisory delegates from our various districts. And I would like to reiterate the point that it's incredibly fair that all have the same opportunity to speak according to the order that you get into the queue. And I would urge us, therefore, to vote against this. There will be many resolutions on the floor that there will not be great opportunity to speak to, and thereby to potentially monopolize the time with the first, I can't remember, I think it was 2 advisory delegates. Simply doesn't make great sense in my mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Matthew Lane, microphone 6, speaking pro.
Mr. Chairman, speaking neither pro nor con, but rising to request information as to whether there would be any technological ramifications of trying to implement this, whether it would mess up the queue, that sort of a thing.
Well, it's just going to mean the eagle eye of the president and his people trying to suss it out. So I'm not certain quite how it'll go, but whatever the will of the body is, we'll make do. Con, Paul Edmond, microphone 6.
Paul Edmond, lay delegate, New England District. I am against this. First, this is unnecessarily biasing of the body. Certainly the advisory delegates are valued here, but so are the lay delegates and so are the pastoral delegates. We all have much to say, and to bias our discussion in this way I think is unfair. In addition, I know that we were previously displaying the queue on the board. If we could continue to do that, that'd be very helpful for seeing who's where in the queue, especially for those of us, especially when we get to big debates, so we know when to stand up and be able to get up to talk. Thanks.
Thank you. Dust Kunkel, microphone 12. And then if Brian Kackelmeyer would make your way to microphone 6.
Hey, there I
Microphone 12.
am up there. It took me a while to get up. Dust Kunkel, Northwest District Advisory Delegate, and I'm in favor of this. There are moments when there are overtures, resolutions that are before us where it's really critical to hear from advisory delegates. I understand the questions about bias and that our thumbs all work at the same speed and so forth, but being open to the opportunity to hear from our advisory delegates every time I think is helpful to the overall dialogue that we'll have on this convention floor. The information will be better because of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, when you push your button to cue, get up from your seat and head to the microphone. That will save us time. Did Brian Kakelmeyer speak already? Brian Kakelmeyer, Con at microphone 6.
Brian Katzelmeyer, delegate from Texas District. I would speak against this. We're all delegates here, and so if you're a pastoral delegate, lay delegate, advisory delegate, we all have opinions, we all have advice, we all have words we'd like to say. We shouldn't divide this that a pastoral delegate has more to say than a lay delegate, or advisory delegate has more to say than a lay delegate. We already all have the same equal opportunity to take the microphone and talk. Speak against it.
Thank you very much. You have to you have to get in the queue to call the question. Chad Walterman, microphone 4, Pro.
Chad Waltsmith, voting delegate, Michigan District. The Michigan District enacted a similar standing rule at its most recent district convention. I think it was well received. I think it gave honor to the advisory delegates that were amongst us, and I would like to see the same done here. So I will vote in favor.
Thank you, Chad. Derek Day, opposed. Microphone 1.
New England District Lay Representative, I move the previous question.
Question has been called. It is non-debatable. Using your white voting keypad, press 1 if you are in favor of ending debate. Press 2 if you are not in favor of ending debate. Please vote now. It takes 2/3 to end debate. Please vote now. Just a matter of ending debate. Please vote now. Keep at it. Everybody's machine working now? How many of you, your machines appear not to be working? There's no problem here. Carry on. Can we, Paget, can we stop and reset here? Can I get a signal from the booth back there that we're ready to vote? There's the signal. Please vote now. If we talk nicely. How many of you have not been able to send your vote in? Well, the virus seems to be contained. I'll take a vote by raising hand. How many of you would prefer to close debate now? Please raise your hand. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries virtually unanimously. The question is before you, and the amendment is when a new queue is opened, if advisory delegates or representatives are immediately, at the discretion of the chair, in the queue, the first 2 advisory delegates will be moved to the top of the queue. Then the order will be returned to the original queue with those who spoke being removed. That is the question before you. With your voting keypad, if you're in favor of the amendment to the standing rules, press 1. If you are opposed, press 2. Please vote now. How many of you are having problems with your machines again? Seems the central region. It appears not to be their fault. Wave your hand when you want us to try again. Microphone 3.
Ben Squires, pastoral delegate, Northern Illinois District. While they're figuring that out, the screen also says adopt standing rules rather than approved of the amendment. Is that correct?
No. Okay, have we got, may we try another vote?
Hi, this is Pageant.
Hi, Paget.
So, just so we can clarify, the vote will not be ready until the slide is broadcast on the screen. Once it's on the screen, then we can call for the vote. So if it's called for before it's on the screen, the keypads will not be working. I have to turn them on. So we can do the vote again. Once it's on the slide's on the screen, then you can say, please vote now. And once it says, please vote now in red on the screen, everyone's keypad will be working.
Oh, so it's my fault.
Not at all. It is always my fault, but I just wanted to clarify.
Thank you. It won't be the last time. Okay, we'll wait for the screen.
Can you please tell me what this vote will be on again, and I'll get it on the screen?
It's the amendment to the standing rules. It's on the screen. Please vote one to amend. Please vote 1 to amend the standing rules. Please vote 2 to decline the amendment. Please vote now. It's not working.
Voting is open, and votes are still rolling in. So the timer on the screen may say 0, but the voting is open as long as you see it say, please vote now.
How many of you have not been able to get your vote in? The device doesn't say to vote now. Vote now. Not sending or receiving.
Okay, thank you. We'll resolve this in one moment.
Sorry? I tell you what we'll do. We will do this by a voice and hand vote. Those in favor of the amendment, raise your right hand and say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Aye. The amendment fails. Standing rules are before you. If you wish to speak in favor of adopting the standing rules, press 1. If you wish to speak in opposition, press 2. Please queue now. This will be a common refrain. What rule have we broken?
Microphones. To add to your trouble, Mr. Chairman, in this section, when people have spoken at microphone 3 and 4, they're completely inaudible. And there have been a lot of distortion at 13, 9, and 10. Other microphones we hear well. So either it's getting close to the microphone, I don't know, but we're having trouble with several of the microphones even hearing anything that the speakers have said.
We'll get our sound people are alerted to that, and we'll do the best they can. All right, have we got a cue? Have we got a cue for the pro-con for the adoptee there? We do. Con Benjamin Maton, microphone 1, speaking on whether to adopt or not the standing rules.
Ben Mayton, Pastoral Delegate, Southeastern District. Also dealing with standing rule number 14. I move to amend that standing rule to strike all the words following the comma in the second sentence and replace them with cue lists from previous motions and original unamended resolutions will be retained until a completely new comma that is not substitute or amended comma resolution is considered.
We would love to do that, but it is technologically impossible. So, sorry. It is technologically impossible. We have beat that horse for a long time. We don't have the ability to do it, period. Paul Edmund, microphone 6, pro. All right, since the machines are not working, we'll just shift into, we're going to have to shift into old style. The question has been called. Is there a second? It's a non-debatable motion. We're voting now to call the question on adopting the standing rules. Needs a 2/3 majority. All in favor of adopting the standing rules, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. I'm sorry, this is on ending debate. Just on ending debate. Those opposed? All right. The question goes before you to adopt the standing rules. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Standing rules are adopted.